It's Raw! That's right, today the sub has actually drawn our eye towards DMG page 34, where everyone's most hated trope, "it's what my character would do," has been legitimized for years prior. God fucking damn it, don't ever use this. I will kick the shit out of you if I see you using this. Just don't do it. That's right, welcome to RPG Horror Stories. I'm your host, and hey, listen. Like, comment, and subscribe, because we've got a new sub goal at 150 subs. We're going to watch The Big Lebowski together in Discord. Why? I have never read The Big Lebowski. And how can I go without reading The Big Lebowski with my previous sub goal having been fulfilled and me having read The Old Man Henderson Tale with the Lebowski themes in it? I feel like I am required to watch this, especially with you guys. So at 150 subs, we're going to do that all together in Discord. I hope to see you there. So like, comment, subscribe, and listen, if you do all three, is guaranteed to grow you by 3 inches. Just like that special spicy channel that I just added into the Discord. So, one of my players became the exact kind of problem player that they warned me about. So, at some point, I would call this player the star player of the team. They drove the roleplay, pushing the rest of the new players to become more confident and had a good grasp on the rules and what it otherwise took to make a good game. Throughout the last couple of campaigns, however, things slowly began to degrade. It started with lots of questions surrounding homebrew aspects of the game, primarily things that would vastly improve the strength of this character. I tried to be accommodating within reason, but had to tell him no a lot due to reasons ranging from power and balance to character concepts that stretched beyond reason and sensibility. He will always introduce these things with, "It's totally cool if you say no," only to get pissed off when I say no or suggest a version of it that I am comfortable with allowing. The consequence for me, and I see this happening to other game masters running games for him as well, are the characters based on the most broken builds that the game more plainly allows. There is a lot less of a roleplay sensibility applied to how different character abilities are acted or applied, and much more of a "I am metagaming to beat the game / game mastered" going on with this person. He's also increasingly seeking to be the center of attention, despite doing very little to make the character earn that place in the story. More time gets spent in developing the character between sessions than during them, resulting in constant background retcons or quirk of the week situation that the rest of the players are tired of humoring. He will often humor in or muscle in himself, just do whatever he has to when someone has a cool moment so he can claim a piece of it by helping after the fact or trying to pull the exact same trick on their next turn in a vain attempt to steal their thunder. If some other character gets a, something cool, it doesn't even matter if they're a different class. If they do something cool, if they get something cool, he wrings his brain to find out how he can get that cool thing or suggest ways his ability to do things way outside of their scope. It's almost like he's trying to outshine every person at the table, Dungeon Master included. Again, I have to say no a lot. Getting back to the power gaming thing, he now tried to spring a coffee lock on me. 9 levels in, he finally has a Sorlock with greater restoration. Unlimited spell slots without any drawback to weighted. When I tell him there is no way I'm letting exploit chaining together however many short rests he wants to generate functionally endless spell slots, he exploded on me. I had utterly ruined all the fun and all the hard effort that went into the character. Now, to the point I made in the title. A few years back, the group had to cut a player who was disruptive and a bad fit. Me and him would have those long discussions about this player, and he would tell me a lot about this Tiberius character from Critical Role and his player, and how it mirrored this problem player we had at the time. I don't watch Critical Role. He, on the other side, is a massive fan. As such, it has been both sad and strange seeing him slowly become this thing he so passionately talked about and warned against back then. So I'm gonna be straight with you. This person has main character syndrome. That's the exact issue that he was warning about before. I don't even watch Critical Role, but I know what he was talking about. This dude has main character syndrome as fuck. He's outright going left and right, up and down, whatever he has to do to really just overpower everyone. Now, rules as written, the coffee lock does technically work. However, coffee locks are extremely broken. They're like the oldest, most broken character in the entire game. And quite frankly, I wouldn't allow that at my table either. Not without significant planning beforehand. Or, you know, I would only let it in like one-shots without any sort of planning beforehand or any heads up. Even then, I tend to give them a requirement that they need to use certain substances, or they get into drugs and shit, and they have like an addiction they have to sustain in order to stay awake and keep those spell slots. It's an actual functional gold cost. They can't just greater restoration that shit away. I don't let them. I would recommend you do something similar. It's fine if they want to be a coffee lock. That's not what I have an issue with. What I have an issue with is that they want to have a coffee lock completely unnerfed, and they want to just spring it on you out of fucking nowhere. That's not how shit's gonna work, and I applaud you for shutting that shit down. Unfortunately, without any significant intervention from the entire party, this person will likely become the very thing that they've sought to destroy, and they'll destroy your friend group. So, be careful. Next story. Okay, I chose a story, and then I read a little bit into it. I was starting to voice it, and then it said that it didn't want people who create YouTube videos to read the story in their video. I'm going to include a link in the description. It's extremely not safe for work. If you can't deal with sleep paralysis demons, drugging, genital mutilation, anything that's like control or gudo, I wouldn't say to read it, but it is a good read. As horrifying as it is, as harrowing as this story is to read, I would recommend to read it. So it is going to be the first story in my description. My stories are always at the bottom. Feel free to click on it and read it. The Dungeon Master wouldn't give a player the points for picking the disadvantage muteness, because she is already mute IRL. We were creating our characters together for playing the German RPG The Dark Eye. During character creation, you can pick from a wide variety of advantages and disadvantages. Advantages cost you points, while disadvantages give you points. So the more disadvantages you pick, the more advantages you can have. The amount of points each is worth is varied. Think of it like the perk system whenever you create your character in Project Zomboid. It is basically that fucking system. One player who is mute was delighted to find that muteness is a disadvantage, so she picked it for her character. It's worth a lot, since being mute is actually a huge disadvantage, obviously. The Dungeon Master said she doesn't get points for it because she's mute in the first place, and we all laughed because we thought it was a joke. It turned out he was dead serious. It turned into a pretty long and weird argument, and we all ended up deciding not to play with this guy in the end, and we left the creation session. Edit. He met her before and knew she's mute. Regarding his reasoning, he argued that since she can't talk anyway, she wouldn't have to struggle with holding back, thus making it unfair to award her points to be mute. We all said that we wouldn't feel treated unfair at all, but he wouldn't have it. Talk about hot takes. This dude straight up discriminated against a player for being mute. What sort of fucking loser does that? I mean, this could have been a very, very interesting player. You don't have a lot of mute people who get to pick that they are mute in a TTRPG. So being able to really well and truly play that sort of character could have been a once in a lifetime opportunity for this DM to witness. And they just were like, yeah, no, you can't do that because you're actually mute. Bro, just go home. Go suck your own cock. That's all you gotta do. If you want to taste like cum all the time, go suck your own cock. Now, that's all we have for today. Much love, stay sexy, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch later, and I hope to see you guys. Bye-bye!